And welcome back to the Roger Hedgecock Show here at the Aramco Group studio at UTTV. Well, an extremely successful women's basketball coach at San Diego State, Beth Burns, has been terminated. Her 3 assistants are gone as well. $250,000 settlement to one of those assistants. What the heck is going on at San Diego State? We turn to Todd Adams, who's a UT sports editor. Todd, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
What is going on here?
Well, it's been a long couple of months for Beth Burns, I think. She technically retired 3 months ago, but we've since learned that she was basically given the choice of retiring or being fired. And it apparently stems from an incident in a Colorado State basketball game last year where she elbowed or hit one of her assistant coaches on the bench after Colorado State made a three-pointer.
Let's show that video because I'm amazed by this. Okay, so there it is. She's over there, and she's there. She pounded once on his clipboard, right?
You're right, yeah.
Now, what was that, frustration, or what happened there that caused her to do that, do you think?
Well, Mark Ziegler, who's been reporting the story, said that she was calling for a fast break, and then it didn't happen, and so she was frustrated.
Yeah.
And then
so we're sort of slow-mowing this thing a little bit, but you see just watch this now. She's in the white there, sitting. The coach is sitting there, and she gets revved up to do the fast break, and then bam! Now that particular clipboard is held by what, her assistant?
Correct.
And why did she hit? Was he the assistant in charge of the coaching the fast break, or what?
It's hard to tell. I mean, and there again, you see her hitting him again. I think that she's just frustrated at what's going on, and he's the one.
So those two incidents, she elbows him one time, and then she slaps his clipboard the other time. Mm-hmm. And we now learn that this is why she was forced out.
Yeah, what we're hearing is that San Diego State has given this as the sole reason that she was forced out, meaning that, of course, there's a chance that she could sue for wrongful termination, et cetera. But so far, San Diego State has told her that this is the only reason that she was let go.
So this is definitely it. Now you've got Rutgers University Mike Rice situation from about the same time period, right?
Correct.
What happened there? Let's refresh everybody's memory on that one.
Well, Rice, the head men's basketball coach, was caught on video being rough with his players. He was shown throwing basketballs
at his
players.
Least, he was really abusive.
Yeah,
and to
it
the
was
players.
Really bad. Yes.
And not just to the coach. She's elbowing her assistant coach, but she's not after the players like Mike Rice was.
Correct. Yeah, Mike Rice was definitely, what was bad about Mike Rice was that he was after the players. It was, Bobby Knight times 20.
Yeah. I mean, he's physically abusing these players. It's amazing.
Correct. And this thing was blowing up about the same time that the Beth Burns stuff came down. And I think that not just San Diego State, but I think that schools all over the country were kind of hypersensitive to these types of situations because of the Mike Rice thing, which they should be. The Mike Rice situation was bad.
For sure. And so everybody gets sensitive about what are their coaches doing. Mm-hmm. But Beth Burns was a very successful coach. Talk about that.
Well, I don't have the exact numbers, but I believe that she had coached a total of 16 seasons at San Diego State in 2 different stints, 8 years each, and has almost 250 wins. I want to say 246 or 248, including last season they won a school record 27 games. So I mean, you can make a pretty good argument that she's the most successful women's basketball coach in San Diego State history.
And it turns out in the article that she had just signed a 5-year contract extension worth $220,000 a year plus bonuses.
Right, and so at the end of last season, she would have still had 4 years left on her contract.
And now she's out, retired, quote unquote, but I guess she's taking another job, it looks like.
Well, I hadn't heard that.
Yeah, there was something in the back end of this article. It talks about her taking
I know that the assistant coach that she hit had taken a job in Pennsylvania at a school out there. So that might be, I think that she's kind of waiting stuff out. And
oh, that's right. It was the assistant coach Barrett who was involved in the incident, goes to St. Francis University in Loretto, Pennsylvania.
Correct.
So, and they gave him, SDSU gave him to walk away for getting hit on his clipboard and elbowed, $250,000.
Right, and I know it says in the article that he was making at the time, I believe, $70,000 a year. So, more than 3 times, almost 4 times.
So he got a windfall. My suspicion is Burns is going to come back with a big lawsuit because if the assistant gets $250,000, what could she get? These administrators giving away money that isn't theirs and they don't really have is really this is a concern, isn't it? I mean,
I think so, and I think that one thing to consider here is that we're not real sure what started the dominoes falling here.
Yeah.
There's certainly possible that the assistant coach had threatened a lawsuit himself, so it could have been a situation, you know, we're looking at this as they paid him off, and Coach Burns might end up suing them, but they might have been stuck in the middle of something anyway.
It might have been bigger than we know.
Right. I mean, they from just kind of in San Diego State's defense, they might have been kind of between a rock and a hard place to start with here, but it's certainly a situation they'd rather not be in, and one that, as you said, as taxpayers would rather not be in, because that's all state funded.
The impact on their team has got to be devastating. They've lost their very successful coach of many, many seasons, and all three of the assistants are now gone, right?
Yeah, it's basically starting over again. They've got a real solid kind of core there. They had a good season last year, but you know, as you know, in colleges, particularly success breeds success, and you kind of want to be known as, hey, look what we've got going on here. And now it's kind of back to square one a little bit. So this could hurt the program a little bit. They did hire a good coach, and you know, I think they're hoping out there that they can keep it rolling. You
guys had to dig to Colorado under Freedom of Information Act just to get the video that we've just been showing, indicating to me that San Diego State hasn't been exactly cooperative here.
Yeah, they've been denying most of our Freedom of Information Act requests, and most of them have been on, I'm trying to remember what it is, but there's a clause that if releasing the information for the public good outweighs, you know, not releasing the information,
in other words,
they don't
get
have to
decide.
Do it. Yeah, exactly. I mean, there's kind of this kind of overreaching rule that they've been invoking, this kind of, but you know, they've been very tight-lipped. Nobody over there has been talking. You know, this is something that I think they want to kind of keep under wraps and just kind of hope it goes away. But
well, it's not under wraps now, and we're concerned about it in the community. For many of us who went to San Diego State,
right.
We appreciate your coming in, and keep up the good work.
All right, thank you. And if I can say real quick too that it was Mark Ziegler that
Mark Ziegler did the story.
Absolutely.